Hello, it is June 16th, and I would like to tell you today about an email that I got this morning forwarded to me by a friend who apparently was concerned about me because she sent me this email, and it was all about this lady at the post office in California who one day, instead of using the blotter to wet her envelopes and stamps, decided to lick the envelopes and stamps. And a week later, the lady had a swollen tongue, and so she went to the doctor, and the doctor couldn't find anything wrong, but over time she went to the hospital. She demanded help, and they did an x-ray of her tongue, decided to cut it open, and a cockroach crawled out of her tongue when they cut it open. Okay, so I get this email, and I'm trying to figure out if this is true or not. I mean, it's not the first time I got an email that was a little spooky and a little bit questionable. Well, of course, the first thing I usually do when I get an email like this is run it through Snopes.com, which is a really awesome way to find out if the email that you've been forwarded is simply an urban legend. In this case, it turns out that it was an urban legend. In fact, this urban legend has been circulating the internet since the year 2000. That means for 9 years, people have been sending each other this email about cockroaches being hatched in the saliva glands of your tongue, and how you shouldn't be licking envelopes and stamps because cockroaches are attracted to glue and they like to lay their eggs there. Cockroaches, in fact, carry their larvae, their eggs, in a sack or a case. Alright, so if you were licking an envelope or a stamp and there was something that looked like a little bean on there, you probably wouldn't lick it, or at least you'd be, a little bit curious as to what that was, and you probably wouldn't lick it. What was the woman at the post office doing, licking envelopes and putting stamps on anyway? That's not what postal workers do, is it? I mean, I was thinking about that. I've never seen a postal worker doing mailings. I'm sure the post office does mailings, but I have never seen that done. There is something that you should be worried about concerning cockroaches. Not that they'll hatch in your mouth, but that they will crawl into your ears while you're sleeping. This actually happens all the time. People show up at the doctor or at the emergency room and they have something moving around in their heads just driving them nuts. I actually know somebody who had a cockroach crawl into her ear when we were living in Africa, and she had to go to the doctor, and they had to figure out how to remove that cockroach from her ear, which really, if you think about it, is truly disgusting. I hope that never happens to me.